What is going on, guys? It's your boy naboth-lee here for grindstudios.com. Today I'm going to show you how to edit your photos in Lightroom like a pro. Let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are now in the computer, and I've already located the folder of my model that I'm going to be using. And by the way, big shout out to B Media Studios right here in Cape Town. So it's a modeling agency and a studio as well. So if you're looking for a studio and you're looking for models, you want to go to B Media Studio right here in Cape Town, if you're in Cape Town. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and open this folder right here. So there's only one picture because I just organized it for the sake of this tutorial. So it's really simple. What you're gonna have to do right here, you just left click, or you can just click with your two fingers on your Mac if you're using a MacBook Pro like I am, and you're gonna just go ahead and go to other because you don't have Lightroom right here on the list. So you want to go to other, and then you want to wait for your Lightroom to open up. My computer is pretty old, so it will take a little bit of time, but here we are. So I'm just gonna go ahead and look for it. Let's show all the items right there. So we have Lightroom. We're gonna open. All right, guys. So once you open your Lightroom, it's gonna take you to an interface like this one over here. Now, this is where it gives you the option to import your photos. So, right. So you have it. I've already imported these photos because I was working on the picture before, but for the sake of this tutorial, so I just allowed it again for me to import it for the second time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and import this picture. All right, so now we're here in the editing interface. So you are in the library at the moment. So what you wanna do, you wanna go to develop. In the develop section, that's where you're gonna be able to tweak and adjust all these slide bars right over here to your liking. So when I shot this picture, when I did the photography for this session, I shot very plain. So I didn't have a lot of color in the camera. I didn't have a lot of contrast because I needed to adjust those in the computer. So that's what you want to do. I mean, if you're going to the pro level, but you can still use JPEGs. So I used a format called CR2. It allows me to do some editing in the computer and be able to maintain, you know, that high quality image and have a lot of detail and a lot of resolution to work with, if you will. I don't know if I said that right, but the idea is you want to shoot in CR2 so that you have a lot of information to edit in the editing software. So my white balance is pretty okay because I already set that in the camera. So I'm happy with this white balance right over here. But what I'm not happy with, I am not happy with the contrast. So I'm going to come over here. Contrast, I'm just going to boost that a little bit. I'm going to take it to about 35. I love contrast. And then the shadows are pretty okay, but I want them a little bit even like brighter. So I'll come here and adjust the knobs to bright, right? So the shadows are getting, so if you do this, you see the effect. If you go down, you're adjusting the shadows, right? So I'm gonna keep my shadows, I'm gonna have it right there because I still want it to be, basically what I was doing here, I was trying to balance the daylight, you know, and the flash that I was using. But that's for another tutorial to show you how exactly I got this picture, how I got this image. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at 25. That's really good for me. I'm gonna leave the whites like that because I didn't have any problem with the whites in here. What I do want to do, I want to crush the blacks. I want to crush them. So if you come here, you see what's happening. If you come here, now it's all washed out. So I want to have my blacks somewhere over here. All right, yeah, I want to have my blacks right there. I can even bump up this contrast a little bit, and once I do that, I'm just gonna tweak that exposure slightly. So this is the exposure. You can turn up and down in terms of your exposure, but I want to have it somewhere here. It was already fine, but I'm just gonna just adjust it slightly. Yeah, I'm gonna stick it right over there. So the one other thing that I'm left with here, because I didn't have any saturation in the camera, so I'm gonna just bump just a little bit of saturation, and I'm gonna have some vibrancy. Now this is so cool, right? I'm gonna have some vibrancy, and you can tweak this picture to your liking, guys. I mean, it's really fun working in this software. Push the contrast up slightly, even go down with the blacks like so. All right, that's good. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go all the way down here. I'm gonna actually put this vibrance even more like that. I want those colors to pop. And as you're adjusting a few things, you know, you might want to go back to your exposure, your contrast, so that the image is kind of balanced. I like it like that. That's pretty nice. Now we're gonna do something really crazy. We're gonna go all the way down here. So this is the section where you can adjust your saturation independently, luminance, and your hues. So I like blues, right? So I'm gonna have to go and just bump up the saturation of the blues. See what's happening here in the skies over here if I bump up the blues. So look at that. That's a little too much, but I like it crazy. So I can even have it right here. And with the luminance, I'm gonna just crush them down slightly, right? So it's like super blue. This is not a realistic. If you have like a shoot that you're doing for a commercial or whatever, it may not be, you may just want to do some basic stuff. But if you want to like really go crazy and have some fantasy or like really cool editing in Lightroom so your pictures stand out, you want to play around with these knobs here. All right. So yeah, I think I'm going to crush the blues. I like a lot of blues in my pictures. And the saturation, aqua, I don't have a lot of aqua in here. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna have those blue, or I think they're perfect the way that they are. Awesome. I think that's the only thing that I'm gonna touch down here. So it's just gonna be the saturation of the blue, the luminance of the blue, basically that. And then when that happens, I do notice that my image has dropped in exposure slightly. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just bump it a little bit more like that. All right, fantastic. So that's how you edit. It's really simple in Lightroom. So here we go. Yeah, that's it done. So when you are done with your image, so I'm not really working on like, you know, like perfecting the skin or whatever. I'm just literally just looking at the overall look of the image. That's another tutorial for perfecting the skin and make it flawless, like, you know, they do with the models. But this is your basic Lightroom editing right there. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and let's go ahead and export. So you want to come here to file. You want to come to file and export, and you want to rename it and say model test, and that's it. You're going to choose a folder. It's going to be on the desktop. Okay, can we open? Okay, so it's gonna be on the desktop, and I'm gonna go ahead and just create a new folder right here. Say model test again for the sake of this tutorial, and here we go. And just choose. I know that I want high quality, so my quality is all the way to 100. And that's it. And you just click export. It's going to export the image. So in the end, your image is going to be looking like this. It's going to be really popping. You have a lot of blues. I think they're a little bit too much, but it's just how crazy I am with the blues. I really like blues in the images. As you can see that the blues are starting to attack the city right in the background. But again, you know, if this is not for a commercial, or it's just for your portfolio, and just it's a taste, really, there's no wrong or right. As long as it's not too over the top, then you are fine. So yeah, thank you for watching. Well, there you have it, guys. That's how you edit your photos in Lightroom like a pro. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, just leave me a comment right down below. And please make sure to subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends and family so that they also can learn a few things from me. Until we see you again, have a good time.